Let's do some basic tests to see what we actually need for our damage ramps in Destruction Magic. So what we're looking to do is learn what ramps we need, what breakpoints we need to hit in order to kill, how much damage do we need on basic spells, and generally how many weakness ramps do we need to actually do meaningful damage. The first thing I wanted to test is if we even need elemental weakness at all. So I'm going to be doing weakness to magic 100 into weakness magic 100 into 100 fire damage. So here's the first one, second one, 100 fire damage. Alright, so it's clear that the damage is quite low. The next sequence we'll test is just weakness to magic 100 into weakness magic and weakness fire 100, with the idea being the initial weakness to magic ramping both the new weakness to magic and the weakness to fire, and then we're going to hit him with a 100 damage spell. So here's just weakness to magic, here's the hybrid, 100 damage, almost killed, that's not bad. Next we'll do weakness to magic and fire 100 on initial. The ramp also has that, and then we do 100 again. That does kill. So it is safe to conclude that the initial weakness to fire matters, or weakness to whatever element you want on your first spell. So if you want to do a 1, 2, and then 3 is your damage combo, you want the first spell to also have weakness to the thing you're targeting. But what about higher health endgame enemies? This 3 spell combo probably isn't going to cut it. And it's not. So what can we do? Well, we can do a 3-way ramp where we cast spell 1, spell 2, spell 1 again, and then we cast a damage spell. So for the first test, we'll do 100 damage. So that's spell 1, spell 2, spell 1, then the 100 damage, it kills. Next we'll test this 50 damage spell to see if 50 damage is enough to kill off of this ramp. Ramp 1, ramp 2, ramp 1, 50 damage. Does not kill. So 50 damage won't kill if we do a 3 spell ramp, meaning that we cast 3 ramps and then do our damage spell. But what if we do a 4 spell ramp? So that's spell 1, spell 2, spell 1, spell 2, nuke. So now 50 damage is killing. To test the effectiveness of 4 ramp, let's try doing 20 damage spell after ramping 4 times. Spell 1, spell 2, spell 1, spell 2, 20 damage. Pretty good damage, actually. It kills him in 2 hits. Oops, let me miss. Or let me miss. Let me hit. There we go. So I know what you're thinking. You're like, I don't want to cast 3 ramps or 4 ramps. 2 is maybe acceptable. So what is the breakpoint to kill? It might be 200 damage. So you might have to spend quite a big chunk of magic in order to kill. So let's test 210 damage over 6 seconds. Now I put it over 6 seconds because in order to even deal over 100 damage, you will have to add duration. And 36 times 6 is significantly cheaper than 200 times 2. Now 200 times 2 kills faster though, but 35 times 6, the name of the spell is wrong, is pretty cheap. So let's do ramp 1, ramp 2, 200 damage spell over 6 seconds. It is draining him, it's just not like displaying it. So that almost killed him, but it didn't quite kill him. What about 240 damage? Maybe that'll kill with a simple 1-2 ramp combo. Ramp 1, ramp 2, 240 damage. You can see his health going down. It does kill him. Okay. So we can kind of safely conclude that if you want to kill endgame Daedric enemies, for the most part, if with a single 1-2 ramp, you're going to need at least like 230 to 250 damage. In order to kill with a 3 ramp, you're looking at 100 damage, and in order to kill with a 5 or a 4 ramp, you're looking at 50 damage. Now that's not terrible, because if you want to 3 or 4 ramp, you will more or less reduce the cost of the spell you're casting. So in conclusion, if you want to kill difficult enemies on master mode with magic ramping, you're looking at high upfront magicka costs to do a 2 ramp combo, higher than the 3 and the 4 ramp, The 3 ramp requires that you alternate 1 to 1 for your ramp spells and then cast your spell. That will cost a little bit less magicka in order to kill. So in order to kill with that, you're looking at a 100 damage spell, which can be crafted for pretty cheaply. They can be cast for pretty cheaply. For the 4 spell combo, you're looking at 50 damage to kill. So if you're willing to put 4 debuffs on a target, with each debuff costing you around 25 magic a pop, costing you around 100 magicka to cast all 4, and then hitting with 50 damage, which will cost you like 20 to 25 magicka, so like 125 magic combo, 5 spells cast. That will also kill most enemies in a single use. So with that knowledge, we can kind of min-max builds around these breakpoints now that we know them. So if you want to go for a 2 ramp, you're going to know that your damage spell is going to cost around 80 to 100 magicka. So if we want to create some kind of like fire nuke that does 100 damage, or I'm sorry, 200 damage, maybe we do like something like 33 times 6, which costs us 79. So 33 times 3 is 99, 99 times 2 is almost 200 damage. So this would be an easy way to get that. It is over 6 seconds, but if you want to deal more damage faster, then you're going to have to pay for it. So 200 damage might not be enough. We actually might need a little bit more. We might even need to do like 42 times 6, which is closer to that. Well, 40 times 6 is 240. So 240 still costs us 101 magicka, which is pretty steep. So we might need to be at around like 200 to 240 in order for the damage to actually convert to a kill with just a 1 ramp, 2 ramp into spell. Whereas for 3 ramp, we can get away with 100 damage. So we could do something like 33 times 3 if you're willing to recast your first ramp spell. This is substantially cheaper, and I might come up with some way of getting the other ramp outs that I'm going to cover in a future build video. But for now, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this, feel free to drop a comment as to how you ramp your magic, or if you noticed anything interesting about ramping magic, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.